Hello everyone and welcome to the Stay Hungry podcast. Today our special guest is none other than Brad Burton, the UK's #1 motivational business speaker. As the Times said, behind the bluff exterior of the self-styled bloke from Manchester is a shrewd business brain. You're going to love this one. Let's fucking go. Amazing. Brad Burton, long time. How are you?
Yeah, you know what? Pandemics will knock it out of you. However, we're back. We are back. It must have been 4 years, hasn't it?
Oh, shit. I'm trying to think last time I saw you. I remember the first time I saw you, sat on a sofa in the Two Henrys, I think, back in 2006. Maybe
Crazy.
2007.
Crazy.
Long time. Listen, we got so much to go through, but we always start with the 3 W's. So for the people who might not know how you help people, what do you do, who for, and why?
So, I find a better version of people. There is a better version of us, better version of me, better version of you, better version of us. And often it remains dormant, and that's what I do. What was the other question? Who do I do it for?
Who do you do it for?
Primarily accountants.
Oh, shit, right.
Yeah, I just fell into it. It's weird. I mean, like 80% of my audience is accountants now, just by accident as opposed to design. But listen, business people, stressed out business people who are, who've been running a business for many, many years, and they're scratching their head thinking, when does it get good? So that's what I do. I help people find the best version of themselves and also get their business good.
Nice. And why do you do what you do?
To make a positive difference. I was that guy. I had a multi-million-pound business, yet I had everything, yet I felt I had nothing. And I think there's some kind of different approach to business that I bring and to life, which is actually kind of proven to be working really, because I'm making some big transformations with people that I work with, like genuinely. But the first person I had to convince of that was myself, and that's what I've done. I transformed my own life.
God, fantastic. So when did you have like this epiphany? Because I've seen the cars, I've seen all that. When are we talking post-pandemic that you had was it a light bulb moment or just a build up over time?
One or two things. When you end up having a nervous breakdown, I'm all right now. A nervous breakdown, or you have burnouts. There's something going very, very wrong in that society. We're down with the hustle and grind, and it all kind of caught up with me. 2012 is that I had a multi-million-pound business. Yeah, I had nothing. I was broken, emotionally broken, mentally broken, physically broken. Just everything was gone. It had, by all accounts, what was success, and I called it success. So I think this whole change started in 2012. I've got everything right now that I could ever dream of, genuinely. And I think the question that I ask anyone, which is how much is enough? How much is enough? Because ultimately, unless you've got enough, you're never going to get there. And that's where I think people get discombobulated and start causing themselves problems.
So 2012, so obviously you launched for networking, what was it? 2006. So was 2012 the real peak of Foreign, when literally you had groups everywhere, the money was flooding in?
Yeah, completely. But equally, I was broken as an individual. So externally, for networking was doing beautifully. Internally, I was shot to pieces. And this is what I talk about with what life is about. If we believe that success is about having all the trappings of success, the cars, the big house, the amazing holidays and so forth. But you know what I believe success is? Contentment and peace of mind. And that is the thing that eludes so many successful business people, is they're never happy, they're never content. It's always success is around the next corner. When I get the new house, I get the new deal, I get a bigger television, get a 40-inch television, go, 60-inch television, that's where happy is. And then 80, then 100, that never ends. And like, this is the bit, I see the kind of futility of that. And I look at it now and I look back and I think to myself, it was almost like a mental illness in this success at any cost. And that cost was to myself.
Bloody hell. So, I mean, I read Stephen Bartlett's Happy Sexy Millionaire, and he talks a lot about contentment, whereas you think a lot of people think happiness equals the fast cars, whatever it might be, whereas contentment, that's that feeling of fulfillment. It's a totally different thing. Whereas, you've got kids, I've got kids, and it's hard when they think it's all about money. They see it online and they're like, oh, look, they've gone to Dubai, look. And shit, it can be difficult, especially for younger people. I'm glad I grew up before the internet. That's all I can say.
Well, the thing is with this is that you look at it and Where we go wrong is we start comparing our lives to other people's lives. And that stuff is absolutely crazy. What I urge people to do is compare their life to their life. You know, I could present a picture quite easily of my life, which people would go, "Oh my God, I've got a show reel that shows me doing all sorts of amazing stuff globally." That's what my mum thinks I do. Come on, that show reel has been produced over 10 years. 10 years. And because I wear the same t-shirt all the time, same jeans, and same trainers, you wouldn't know. Okay, my hair's the same as well. So, but you look at that and people would think that that's my day-to-day life. It's not. That's been built over 10 years. So, but if I wanted to present that to people as this is my day-to-day life, I could quite easily do that. I don't. I'm really honest about it. And I think that's the danger. I think today's world, if you think right now you're juggling everything, finances, emotions, physical stuff, mental stuff, but you're also throwing on top of that digital world. It never existed 20 years ago. So now we're having to spend time dealing with the digital world as well as all these things. Difficult. Something's got to give. And I think that's what I'm about is to ensure the thing that gives isn't you. And that's what I see. Too many business owners have lost their way. They've lost themselves in pursuit of what they consider to be success. And actually, I'm saying to people, look, I've got a smaller business than I've ever had in 20 years. And yet I'm making more money now.
Right.
And that's that doesn't make, I don't have any offices. I don't have 15 staff. I don't have a team. And yet I'm making more money now. So somewhere along the way, looking at that and going, whoa. What are we doing this for? So is it about having an office so that everyone can see you've got offices? Is it about playing the game, almost costume playing, what a business owner should be? And actually, once you take away that and take away you as a business owner, before you use a business owner, use a person. And that's what we've got to get back down to. Get back down to being people. Get back down to what you want for your life. And then if business is part of that, cool. But I think we've been dominated by this whole internet culture and Instagram world right now. And I don't believe that it fits for a vast majority of people.
So I guess like flipping back, like when you launched 4N in 2006, that was, well, it wasn't pre-internet, but it was pre-social media kicking off. Maybe Twitter kicked off 2006. But you grew your business organically, word of mouth. I mean, what was the Brad Burton in 2006 like? And what was the spark that enabled you to see the gap in the breakfast networking market and fucking totally disrupt the industry?
So I looked at it and I went along. So I started my own business off in December 2004. I started my own marketing business off, so literally days before Christmas. So my first year was 2005. And I got invited along to these networking meetings. And in political terms, you had like the loony left and the hard right. Loony left, Chamber of Commerce, where they've got the local mayor talking about parking provision. It's just nonsense. And you go there, it's all very nice, Chablis, Volivants. There you go, loony left. Then you had the hardcore right, the B&I. Where's your leads? Where's your referrals? You have to attend. And I'm like, okay, where was the mainstream of networking? And it didn't exist. And I just looked at it and I'm thinking, this is wide open here in political terms. Loony left, hard right. Where was the 80%? Didn't exist. And I looked at it and I said, this can be done. And nobody gave me a chance. Everyone wrote me off as a fraud. And yet, we run in total 68,000 business networking meetings. So, it's only a daft idea if it doesn't work. It's only a daft idea if it doesn't work. And if it does work, you end up becoming a genius, which is exactly what I did from a networking perspective.
Yeah, I'm smiling because I remember my first ever networking experience. It was BNI, and I walked into this room in my jeans, into a room full of suits. And yeah, it was like fucking hell. So when 4N launched, it was like a breath of fresh air. That's when I first met you. It was amazing. And where were you from a family point of view when you were growing 4N? Because I imagine that, again, pre-social media, that must have involved a lot of fucking shoe leather.
Yeah, 40,000 miles a year. 40,000 miles a year, away 200 nights a week, a month, a year even. And, that's not regret, because I've got no regrets. But I look at my life and I think to myself, I was doing it for my family. I was starting a business off for my family. And then at some point you forget about your family and you're now doing your business for you. You've lost your primary objective. And that's where I'm back right now. I'm 50-year-old now. 50-year-old. My dad went at 53. So on that basis, I've got 3 years left.
Shit.
So I kind of got no aspirations to go and build some big empire again. I'm done with that. But what I've got aspirations to do is, as I've talked about before, is to make a positive difference, to help people find their way and to find their part in life, their own life again, because we end up being on autopilot. We're just going from day to day, and those days become weeks, those weeks become months, those months become years, those years become a life. And we end up in a place that we don't want to be because society told us, or because we've been watching Instagram videos, and that's what we need,
So what's your relationship like with social media now? Are you on it a lot? Do you use it much, or is it just a tool that you can switch on and off? You got a good relationship with it?
No, I've got a 14-hour day relationship with social media, and that's disgusting. You know, as a former drug addict, I've been addicted to drugs twice. You've got to work really hard to get addicted twice. You know, I look at people on social media, including me, and it's a digital drug. That's the reality of it. And you know, I've not managed to take myself off it yet, and that's something that I want to do. Something that genuinely, like Facebook, I run my own private group. That's the only reason I'm on there now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that like what group mentorship or something, or?
Yeah, on the quiet, nobody knows about it.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, so I literally don't promote it. I don't. So I handpick people to come in it. So I've got that, and that's the only reason I'm on Facebook anymore. So
Right.
there's no way of being able to delete my account and keep that. There's not. So this is quite clever that these guys do that. They drag you into environments that you don't necessarily want to be in there, and they press your right buttons. So simple. They know everything about you. So in answer to the question, no, I've got a problem with my social media, and it's one that I'm a motivational speaker. My intent is to change people's lives. Just shows you how difficult that element is to remove it right now from the world. You know.
So how thick-skinned would you say you are on social media? So I remember reading a post by David Goggins, who's always stay hard and all that, but even he'll admit that now and then someone can say something that gets through a chink in his armour and he'll react to it. I mean, because I guess would you still describe yourself as a bit polarising? Do you still come under fire from certain quarters?
I'm going to ask you a straight question. I'd love that straight answer. Name one person in the history of humanity who isn't polarizing. Go.
Shit, I was going to say Mother Teresa, but she's dead, isn't she?
But she's also polarizing as well. You go and look, there's a I Hate Mother Teresa page about her. She was a tyrant by all accounts. So go on, name one person. Be a long day.
Shit.
See, this is the thing.
Yeah.
They don't fucking exist, right? So what happens is that people go, oh, Brad's Marmite. And the only people that say I'm Marmite is people that have outpaced and actually they've got degrees and what have you, and they can't understand it. And they'll never say, the reason I don't like Brad is because of this. They'll say he's because he's polarizing or he's a Marmite character. And actually, the reality is with what I do, everyone who's ever made anything decent has been polarizing. So the only way that you cannot be polarizing is by never making anything creatively. That's true. So in terms of am I polarizing? I don't think I am anymore. I really don't. You're going to get people that don't like you. If I have an office with 10 staff, one person won't like you.
Yeah.
Have an office with 100 staff, 10 people won't like you. 1,000 staff, 100 people won't like you. That's the nature of social media, because you've got 10,000 people, so therefore there's 1,000 people that follow you that don't like you. It is how it is. That's just the nature of it. It's a byproduct. So yes, on occasion you do get these things that come your way, but you've got to accept it's part of the course. It's a bit like being a boxer. The only way that you learn how to box is getting punched in the mouth, not by reading about how you get punched in the mouth. So you've got to, you are going to get pinged at some point, and it's how you deal with that fucking getting chinned, effectively, metaphorically, digitally speaking. It's going to dictate how you deal with that going forward. So yes, I had my bruiser days back in 2006, 2011, 5 years of fucking every single day, fucking 6-shooter on social media. That's how it was. No, I'm choosing. I'm a lover, not a fighter anymore.
Nice. So what would you say that the hardest lessons you learned when things started going awry in around 2012?
That not everyone's got the same values as you. That you actually see who you are when the shit's hitting the fan. You see who's there for you when the shit's hitting the fan. But also that things change. Everything's always in flux. My beautiful office that I'm in right now. One day, someone else is going to be in this office. This is not going to be an office anymore. I'll have somebody else's room living in here. Everything's always in change. And once you recognize that everything is always in change becomes a whole lot easier to deal with.
I mean, can I ask about 2012? Because there's a photo of you. I think you use it quite a lot, and it's the one of you with Terry Cooper. You're sat down, looking obviously very pensive. Was that 2012 or was that later?
Yeah, that was it. That was 2012. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, was Terry like a bit of a mentor to you? Do you still have mentors now? I mean, it sounds like you obviously mentee people, if that's the right word.
Yeah, well, listen, there's a couple of things. Terry Cooper, my former chairman, it was in my old office. It's next door. I've got the picture on the wall. That is the most. It's not my Obama war moment, and actually I can provide it to you so you can show people. But it was that was me. That was everything that could go wrong with my life did. And my life and my business was like a game of Jenga. I had this big wobbly tower of success. Just needed one brick and it would go. So Terry Cooper was chairman, and he said to me at the time, he said, "Brad, do you trust me?" I said, "Terry, I quit." He said, "Brad, do you trust me?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you trust me 100%?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You ain't fucking quitting." He says, "I get it, you're tired. I get it, you're scared. I get it, you're fearful. I get it, you want out, but you're not quitting." I said, "If you really want to quit," he says, I'll get a date now in the diary for 6 months' time. And if you've still got to quit on that date, I'll let you go. What do you reckon? High five, done. And, that was obviously, God, 11 years ago.
Shit.
Gee whiz.
Shit.
Crucial conversation, absolute crucial conversation that changed my entire direction of my life.
Wow.
And in answer to the question in terms of mentors, I find with various mentors over the years, but I find that I learn about every single situation. Every single situation, I'm always learning on purpose. Everything I read, everything I see, was talking now, I'm learning about myself. And that's what I do. I've switched it on. So everything that I'm doing, I'm learning or evaluating.
And where were you, if it's okay for me to ask, where were you with Kerry around this point? So she's been a rock, like my wife is to me. I mean, most business owners have like a surprised woman behind them, should we say? But how were things back home when it was all kicking off at business?
Terrible. We had a divorce lawyer booked on the Friday, and then,
shit.
Divorce lawyer booked on the Friday. And if you said to me, are we going to make it? Absolutely not. On the Thursday, we sat down in my big posh 5-bedroom house, come from a council estate over Chipper, and we sat there at a farmhouse table and we cried, the pair of us. And she said to me, my wife, 2012, she said to me, "I understand how we got here. I understand how we got here." And that's the question that I always ask any individual who's either got success or they're struggling at the moment. Do you understand how you got here? Because that is crucial to recognize the decisions that you made that have got you where you are today. And only then, by recognizing the decisions that you made, are you in a position to avoid those things in future, like a down payment on stupid, daft decisions.
Wow, that acceptance of responsibility, though, that's a challenge we seem to come up across more and more now. No one, they want the power, sound like Uncle Ben from Spider-Man now. They want the power, but they don't want the responsibility. It's just Teflon people everywhere.
Well, this is the thing. Leadership is about making decisions that not everyone agrees with. That's the reality of it. I've had to make some fucking impossible decisions over the years, ones that no one ends up on the winners roster. And there's situations when you run a network with thousands of members, everyone's looking to you for answers. Something goes wrong over in fucking Cornwall, that's on me. Something goes wrong in Glasgow, that's on me. And that was quite difficult, really, when you've got situations unfolding on a national level that I know nothing about, but somewhere along the way you get the finger pointed at you as your organisation. So it was really interesting, a good little grounding for me. Team of 800 people. Obviously did my motivational speaking at these networking meetings that have then culminated in me traveling the world globally for global organizations, which actually none of that would have happened if I'd not started the business off going back to 2004. So, everything happens for a reason. And some of the shit that I've had to deal with has really put me in good stead when I mention other companies and businesses to be able to anticipate or be able to see things that are coming down the road that they won't be able to see.
Well, I remember a video you shared on LinkedIn, I think, and it was must have been one of your earlier speaking gigs, and you start telling a story, but then you admittedly fuck up and you had to rewind to do it again, and you will share that. Was that like just, you've learnt your craft by just having skin in the game, or did you seek advice, assistance?
So that video is amazing. We found it on YouTube of me speaking in 2010 or 2009, and I'm terrible. And we wanted it scrubbed off the internet. And I said to my team, I said, look, fuck this. What does this make possible? Boom. And we turned it we've shown you some of the stuff that I say. I say the same thing in front of 3,000 accountants on the biggest stage you can get in Excel. And yet I say the same thing or there's like lineage on it. So the way that you learn how to speak is by dying. Right. So you've got to die on stage in order to learn how not to die on stage. The way that you learn how to keep your head moving is get punched in the mouth. You're a martial artist, and that's the same vibe with that. So I've spoke 2,500 times in public, in the brewers' fairs up and down the land, and that is a grounding the likes of which most normal people don't. Some of them might be in the Professional Speakers Association or Toastmasters. They get to see the same people every Tuesday, for an hour. Well, I get to see different people every single day and speaking in hotels and brewers' fair restaurants up and down the land. best grounding ever for a speaker, because you can deal with anything. You can deal with the barista going off, or you can deal with people walking past with luggage, or workmen over there with high-vis jackets on while you're talking. You can speak anywhere, so it's a great grounding.
And is it a much bigger buzz going out in front of thousands of people now, or do you have a bit of nostalgia? Some of those early days when you learn your craft, like we've all done it, spoken at 4N, like you say, in a Brewers Fair pub somewhere, or is it like? Is it better now, worse, the same, or is it like you fucking live for it, that moment before you go out in front of thousands of people at like the Zero conference or whatever? What's the vibe like?
Yeah. Well, listen, I hired my camera team, my guys that I've worked with for 10 years that I met in phone networking, and they filmed ZeroCon. So they had their own setup, ZeroCon, but I got my guys to film me and we captured it. And you can see 36 seconds where this camera, I didn't know he was doing it. I saw him in front of 3,000. He comes on stage and he circles round me to do a shot. Now, if he'd have fell over, it'd have been like, whoa. He didn't. He captured 36 seconds of my life, the greatest 36 seconds of my life, because at that very moment, you can see, and we can once again provide that for you. At that very moment, that was validation. Every single fucker who told me that I couldn't do it, everyone that said, "Oh, you'll never be a motivational speaker. Why not? You look like a drug dealer." Okay, not by the way anymore, but we can all change, But the whole thing there, you look at it and you think, everyone told me I couldn't do it. Everyone said I couldn't start a business off. Everyone said I couldn't write a book I've written for. Everyone said I'd never be a motivational speaker. So all the authorities told me that was the case. And if I'd have listened to those individuals, they'd have been absolutely right. But you know what I did? I turned down the volume on them, pressed the mute button and turned up the volume on my own self-talk. And that's what you've got to do. The first person you've got to convince of your brilliance is you. That's it. So, before you can start pitching yourself to clients and this, that, and the other, fucking convince yourself, because if you can't do that, you ain't convincing anyone else. And that's what it was. So it's validation. So in answer to the question, it's relative. And what I mean by that, if I go to the gym now, or you start in the gym and you're pushing 20 kilo, and then you're struggling 20 kilo, and then 10 years later you're pushing 200 kilo, the same individual. It's relative. You're both at the end of your operation. You're both at the end of your ability, and I think that's what it is. So as romantic and as exciting as it is, everyone looking around you while you're bench pressing 200 kilo. Not me, by the way, but everyone's like, "Whoa, that's amazing." They're only working as hard as the person who's bench pressing 20. So same goes for me in speaking. It's relative. Me having a big stage back in the day with 30 people. 3,000 is relative. You're still right there. Although it's a damn sight more impressive from an external perspective. But no, it's relative.
And have you got any more sort of business days planned? I remember back in the day coming to one of yours. I think it was a Villa Park, and I know you've done business days with like Rusty Furman, and I bought his book on the back of like seeing you work with him, and that was because I'm old enough to remember the Iranian embassy siege, and that must have been awesome. I couldn't go to that one, but I mean, any more kind of days like that planned? Or is that not on the scope anymore?
A couple of things that I'm working on at the moment. One is we've got Alton Towers. I've hired out Alton Towers. I'm going to Alton Towers. I've booked Alton Towers. I think it's on the 18th of October. I'm going on my own. I said I'm coming. It's a free for all. Anyone else? 25 people booked in that day. So I'm hoping to go get 200, 300 people coming to Alton Towers from LinkedIn who don't know each other. They're going to go into networking, and that somehow will start going some way to kind of build up some kind of network again of individuals. But I'm also going to be running a life maker retreat, which is affected this whole process that I take. Life maker retreat over in Ibiza or Ayia Napa, and my intent is to take 12 people initially for 2 or 3 nights there, and really get people tuned into this. And I've got some amazing, I can't name drop, but I've got some amazing names already booked on, not speaking, booked on to thing, because what I do is radical shit. So that there, Life Maker Retreat, I'm hoping to do a Life Maker Live, which is going to be old school Brad. Me on a day sharing all my fucking wisdom, and that's going to be coming next year. So, look, the reality where my focus is at the moment is I am doing mentoring for people, but not only that, I'm also doing speaking gigs. So I'm in a really good fucking place. I'm in genuinely a good place. And I said to someone the other day, I said, imagine 2 piles. There's a pile of penny pieces and a pile of pound coins, and you've got a wheelbarrow and a spade. Which spade would you put into? Is it the pound coins? So why the fuck are you wasting your day all at the moment putting penny pieces into it, and you are knocking your pipe out? See, my prices are probably considered expensive, but I'd rather not work. And what I mean by that is I lowered my prices by half. I'd be busy all day fucking long. I don't want to be that guy. So my entire mindset has changed in the last 2 years. And I think pandemics will do that. And I'll tell you the reason why is that if I go back to the fucking pre-pandemic, if my business would have been a £10 million business or £100 million business, guess what? It would have fucking gone. It would have still gone. And I think that to me kind of told me the precariousness of life. That actually doesn't make no fucking odds how big your business is. Pandemics come along or an external factor can change everything. And that's what I said before, that things change. And once you recognise that things change, I didn't sit there getting pissed off with the way the country was. I got on with the job at hand, which is how do I get through this? And that's what I urge people to do.
So, I mean, in 2019, business going good, 4N, speaking, doing your mentorships, then lockdown hits. I mean, we lost overnight 80% of clients, but I guess for you, the money that stopped literally 100% overnight. Is that the case?
Yeah, and then we was the first network to go online. We was there, so we was there within 32 hours of the shit hit the fan. We was the first one. But what happened is every competitive advantage that we had on a national level got negated, because that meant anyone with a Zoom that could copy our format could set up a fucking network. And so consequently, people did. No one had the heritage that we did, the database and so forth. But yes, it fucked things. But that's okay. You know what? Life happens. Everything happens for a reason. You and I are talking now as a result of me getting shot at in 1995. I moved away from Salford, my home, of 21 years, and I moved to Somerset. So if you think about that logically, everything happens for a reason. Something so terrible ended up becoming so positive, and that's what I say about anything. That pandemic, I always ask the question: when the shit's hitting the fan in your life, in your world, in your business, what does this make possible? And what it made possible for is a fresh start. For me to look at things now and say, is that what I would do? And I'm so thankful of before networking time. So fucking thankful, because the reality is, you and I know, and I know thousands of people on a national level now. Not spoke really for 5 years, but pick it up like nothing's fucking changed. And that's what full networking has done. It's given me a reputation, a national reputation. Everyone knows who I am. All right, not everyone, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I've got myself a national reputation that no one has spoke in as many fucking places on a national level as me. I'd go to a Brewers Fair and speak over in fucking Wales. Most people would only go to a speaking gig, so they're not getting booked every fucking 2 days to go all over the show. I was, so it really gave me a good grounding, and I wouldn't change a single thing about my life, not one thing. And I've had some terrible shit pop off.
Bloody hell! And where are you now in terms of like work-life harmony, quality time with the family? Obviously, you got children. I mean, you work from home now. What's like? I'm not an average day. Fuck average, as a previous guest said. But what's a day look like for Brad Burton and the Burtons?
Literally, I've done a mentoring session this morning. So before this, up until about 11 o'clock, I did 60 to 90 minutes. That's how long I do them more. 60 to 90 minute mentoring session. Done that. Doing this podcast now. I've got my web developer who's in my garden office. So when we finish here, I'm going to go and tidy my web up. And then I've got a mentoring call again at 2 o'clock. That's it. It's nice and relaxed. And I call it burst working. I get myself in a situation where I am fucking not 100%. If you do 100% every single day, you're not 100%, you're at 80%. So what I do is I call burst working, which is a bit like a boxer. You go again, we want a strong round. And that's what I do. And then we have times when I just coast and I just relax and I just energize. People say, oh, Brad, you're so full of energy. How are you so full of energy every time I see you? Because every time you see me, I'm so full of fucking energy. When you don't see me, I'm not full of energy. And that's what the truth. I'm telling you that the whole thing. So when people see me on stage, you go, fucking hell, how's he so full of energy? Because I've got stage energy. I'm not going around high-fiving the kids going, woo, all the time, right? So, an average day for me is generally 4 hours of work, 4 hours of work. The rest is reactive emails, responses, social media, and so forth. But I've got a good life, mate. I'll tell you, a fucking great life. No commuting, and I can just fucking, make proper difference. I make proper money sat here.
So how many miles are you doing a year now, then? Not 40,000 anymore?
My best guess, probably 8,000, something like that.
Bloody hell, nice. And did you get rid of the Beamer then?
Yeah, I got short of it, so I don't even have a vehicle at the moment. And that's what I'm saying. I borrowed a wife's fucking 9-year-old X-Trail. And this is the point, is that I look at it and you think, I had a BMW i8, and you think to yourself, why did I have a BMW i8? I had it because it's a nice car. But actually, there was times when you had it because it was nice to be seen in a car. And it's like, fucking hell, what is that about? Don't get me wrong, I like nice stuff, right? Clearly, I like nice stuff. I think we all do. But maybe, just maybe, the nice stuff that we've really got isn't a BMW i8 or isn't a fucking big house. It's your family. And it's one of those things that, on my dying breath, do you reckon I'm going to go, oh, fucking, I got a BMW i8? No, you're going to say, thank goodness that I spent the time with the children and skimmed pebbles and did this and the other. And that says to me that actually, if it was your last day of your life, what would you be doing? You wouldn't be going, I'm going to go and fucking buy a car. I was fucking going on a track day around fucking Nuremberg in a Lamborghini. You wouldn't. So what the fuck? And this is the bit that people don't understand. I had a mate of mine die fucking 2 weeks ago, 33, cancer. You know, a year ago, he had no idea that he was going to fucking die. He had no idea he was going to be leaving his daughter behind. No idea. So this is the point that we've got to fucking make, which is actually none of us know the date, and we're all preparing. It's always 20 years in fucking advance. So it's 20 years when you're going to die, until of course it's fucking not. So therefore, on that basis, and this is, you know, it's the antithesis of what fucking society tells you. Make certain that enough is enough, and that you don't go beyond that point. I'm at that point right now where I've got enough. I've got enough.
Someone said,
actually,
I was going to say, someone said to me a while back, most magic moments don't cost money. And I was like, shit, yeah, that's good. And I think, you know, lost my father a few years ago now. But the favourite memories I have of him, yeah, we had some nice holidays and stuff. But my favourite memories of him aren't on the holidays. It's the simple stuff, like sitting around, eating, laughing together. And it's like, shit, why did it take me like 40 fucking years to realise that?
Andy, let me tell you something, mate. So my dad, my stepfather, he looked after me effectively. My fondest memories is 1981. I was 8, and on Friday, come back from work. He was an electrician, worked for Norweb, and he'd come back from work, and then we would go to the shop at the top of the street, and I would have money. I could buy fucking an ice cream back in the day, 1981, walls in like a fucking paper. And then I'd buy a bottle of juice soda or Fanta or whatever it was back in the day, orange, and I'd make floats, and we'd watch telly. Fuck me, that was it, right? Not my dad's fucking Jaguar XK, boom. So it's that. So on that basis, that's exactly where I'm at with my kids, to try and create those fucking memories. One day I'm not going to be here. One day you're not going to be here. Everyone that we love is going to be dead. That's the fucking reality of it. Sorry, people, but it's fucking true. And this is the fucking bit. Is that we're so fucking... I'm 50. Fucking 50. My dad went at 53. So what, I'm going to go and spend some time out, but what you can do, get a business at scale. You know, I realised something, is that what happened when I started a business off, I was juggling finances, juggling emotions, juggling time, juggling the whatever. And I thought to myself, you get to a position where what you end up doing is you get a fucking office, you get staff, and everyone juggles while you sit on the Maldives and you earn fucking money. But let me tell you something, I've been in business 19 fucking years. Let me tell you right now, I'm still fucking juggling all the fucking things. And this is what you need to understand, is that all these entrepreneurs and all that fucking 4-hour work week bullshit is just that. It's bullshit. Anyone that I know that is fucking doing numbers right now in business, right, is still fucking working. Yeah. They're still fucking working. So what the fuck's that about? So you've got everything that you want, yet you're still working. Hang about. What about this? That the most important asset that we have is time. And yet, you know, you've got a load of fucking dough and you're still working to get more dough, to get more properties. Why? What the fuck is that about? Why? Oh, because, yeah, give me a safety net. Why? I was brought up in a fucking council estate. We had no fucking safety net. So where the fuck's this come from? We've been, as a society, we've become addicted to comfort. You've become addicted to fucking comfort. And when you start getting fucking underfloor heating on your fucking house, you're doing something terribly fucking wrong. That life has gone very fucking wrong, that you can afford underfloor heating and you've got no... Honestly. So this is where I'm at right now, is that we've got to somewhere along the way, slow it the fuck down. Get back to the basics. Get back to what's fucking really important. And I'm telling you, it's not underfloor fucking eating. It isn't BMW i8s. That doesn't mean, you know, I won't win the lottery today. I'm buying a fucking Lamborghini. I don't do the lottery. But if I did, that's the only way. But am I going to work to get one? To do what? It makes no sense. And this is the bit that only at fucking 50, you'd have got me 20 years ago and sat me down and had this conversation. I'd been like, I'd been saying, oh, fuck off. You're talking out your ass. But a mate of mine years ago, when I started the business up, he's got a multi-million-pound business over in Australia. And he said to me, he said, right, when he was starting business up, give me some advice. He said, one day, I want you to savor this, what you're going through right now with your struggle. He said, because one day it's going to be replaced with comfort, and you're going to look back and wish that you listened to my words. And guess what? I dismissed him. Wow. And then he said to me, you know, when your skin and your washing machine starts playing up, what you do, you get a screwdriver and you push it in there and you hold that and you press the elbow and you get another wash out of it. When you get to my fucking point in life, when you've got everything you want, starts playing up, as soon as it fucking dingy, you ring someone up, they go and bring the best one, take that one away, boom. He said, every single time that you don't do that, you lose a piece of yourself. And he's so fucking right. Because this is what happens right now. We've been addicted to comfort, but nobody wants to fucking feel any discomfort in life. And that is why we've got a society right now which is struggling, because it's got to deal with discomfort and it doesn't know how to deal with it. You know, my life has been discomfort. My life has been discomfort. And I've dealt with every single bit of discomfort that come my fucking way. Every bit. And my life's turned out okay. And that's the point that I'd like to say to people, that actually, you know what, no matter what discomfort you've got going on right now, whatever you're dealing with right now, you'll deal with it. You've dealt with everything that is before. Why the fuck wouldn't you deal with this right now? And you will.
And how would you convey that kind of? Because I mean, I agree with you 100%. I wrote a post about it literally the other day. Like, for a lot of our listeners, they've got like kids, teenagers, and stuff. How do you get across this kind of, not even a philosophy, but without almost scaring them? Because you're not saying life has to be hard. You need to be like Goggins and suffer 24 hours a day. But sometimes dealing with shit enables you to deal with the shit that comes back at you. And if you don't have to deal with shit, you're going to fold. I mean, how would you share that?
It's about recognizing that adversity is part of life, and your ability to deal with that adversity. You know, if I said to you right now, put your hand out on there, put your hand out like that, and I put a red hot coal on it, how long would you hold on to it for?
Depends who's watching, but not long at all, I imagine.
You wouldn't. It'd be gone, let go. But what we end up doing in life, that bastard, what he did to fucking me, that fucker, that one who ripped me off, that one who, oh, you know, somebody's died, I'm really fucking in pain about them. Would that individual who died, who you love, would they want you to feel the pain? No, they wouldn't. No. They'd want you to let go of the pain. Doesn't mean you're letting go of the love. That whole thing about holding on to a red hot coal in whatever element of your life, that's where the problems come from. In so many lives, is holding on to something, how life should have been, or what they should have been, or that should have been mine, or at some point you've got to let go. I had to let go of my business, which was a multi-million-pound business that I had office. I had to let go of it. And where the pain's formed is by not letting go. So what I'd say to any individual right now is that no matter what you've got going on in your life, whatever your world is, let go of it. Let go of it and trust that you'll find a way. Trust that you'll find a way. Adversity, you know, I live an amazing life. You can think I'm not. I'm living an amazing life. But I live an amazing life because I've chosen an amazing life. And what I mean by that is I've had to make, for the last 19 years, decisions that have got me from a councillor fucking masonette above a chipper. I've had to get there by not, and the way that you get to the top of the stairs isn't by going from step 1 to step 12 and jumping. You go step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But people don't want to do that. In today's social media world, you think you can go on a fucking course and get from 1 to the top. You can't. It's going to take time. So whatever you want to achieve in your life, in your world, in your business, it's going to take time. And if you've not got time in order to do it right, don't be upset if it doesn't fucking work, and never be in a hurry to lose. So where I'm at right now is slow, methodical process is methodical process. But today's world, everyone wants it instantly. Doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that.
Okay, I tell you, I think if I look back and think about some of the energy I've wasted on holding on to grudges, people who ripped me off, let me down, that kind of stuff. Now I'd like to think, well, I'm a lot older and a little bit wiser, but shit, I could have done something better with that time and energy. And like, so you don't get that time back, do you?
And that's the thing, you know, the most important thing ever was time. You know, we're 41 minutes closer to death since we started talking, right? Just think about that logically. At one point, I'm going to have 41 minutes left in my life. That's fucking mad. Yeah. When's that going to be? I've got no idea. It could be today. Could be today. Might not fucking wake up. We could fucking get out. This is life. And this is what I need people to understand. We're so fucking focused on a 5-year, 10-year plan. I don't know what the fuck's happening in 5 minutes time. You know, when I look at this and I go back a couple of weeks ago, fucking the newspapers, and I don't read them, but fucking people telling me, oh, nuclear fucking warheads are coming, Putin's long, fucking shut up. So people fucking spending weeks, oh my God, it might be a nuclear holocaust. We're still fucking here. You spent 2 weeks worrying about some fucking thing that ain't going to happen. There's a million things that you can fucking worry about. And that's the great thing about worry. Whatever you worry about never fucking happens. So stop it. Just fucking think positive about every element of your life. You know, when I look at my life, and the biggest fight I ever had in my life was me versus me, as to which version of me. I used to have a fucking face like a slapped ass. I used to be a dark fucker. Big time. And right now, you know, it was like my own Brexit, 49% bad, 51% good. I reckon I'm 95% good now, I'm positive, I'm 5% negative. And that's what you need to do. And the way that I did that wasn't by going fucking 49, 51, 95, 5. It was by 52, 48, 53, and moving slowly. That's what you need to do. So any change that you want to do, if, say for instance you're overweight and you want to lose 3 stone, well, I've got a magic button that when you press it, every single time you lose a stone, how many times would you press it? And then you go, 3 times. Yeah. Well, guess what? No fucking magic buttons exist. So in order for you to lose weight, you're going to have to do shit that you don't want to do. That means eating less, means going for fucking walks and going to the gym. If you don't want to do that, no matter going like that, and fucking scales is going to fix it. So you need to be really honest with yourself. Yeah. Be really honest with yourself. What do I want to achieve? What do I want to do with my life? And fucking start taking the steps towards making that a reality. Or stop talking about it. Because that's what's driving you crazy right now. Oh, I want to go and be self-employed, but I like the security of running a business. I want to be young, free and single, but I want to be married. I want to be... It don't fucking work like that. Choose somewhere and fucking head towards it.
Fucking hell, Brad. I tell you, I could talk to you all day, man. But I know we got to wrap things up. You've got so much to share. So what's the best place for people to find out more about you and what you do and how you help people?
Listen, work with Brad.biz, right? That's the opportunity to work with me. If you are interested in jumping on a 15-minute call, and you can have a free sales pitch at the end of it if you really want, right? But no, honestly, I mean that. I'm being serious. The 15-minute, I will help you. If I can answer your question within that 15 minutes, I will fucking do it completely free of charge. bradburton.biz/1515 and jump on a 15-minute call. But look, the reality is it's about fucking making a positive difference. I'm living a life that a thick fucker from Salford, Manchester, wouldn't ever think is possible. And if I can do it, guy who's done fucking 4 years on benefits, got shot out at 21, been addicted to drugs twice, delivered fucking pizza at 31, fucking got no qualifications, or am I that guy, or am I a guy 4-time best-selling fucking author, the UK's #1 motivational business speaker, says from my website, the founder of For Networking. See, somewhere along the way, two sides of the same coin. So which version of you are you going to be? Are you going to be the fucking bum version, or are you going to be the fucking best version? Either way is a fucking choice. I was a bum. I've changed my life to the best version, and you can do the same. But it all starts with belief that you can do it. If you don't fucking believe that you can change, no change is ever going to happen.
Shit, amazing. Unbelievable. You up for 2 quick-fire questions, Brad? Cool. Right. First one, favourite film?
Torn. Either Die Hard or Aliens. So this is a bit like choosing which of your favourite fucking kids. And what's interesting about that...
Aliens. Love it.
Just 1986 was a fucking fine vintage for film. So Aliens, and then Die Hard was 1988, I believe. I cannot separate those two. But what's interesting about that is I think how formative those films have been for me. If you think about the logic behind that, Die Hard, one man up against lots of situations which is seemingly impossible. Aliens, once again, outnumbered, out-armed, and yet they had to use the resources to get through. So I think there's something that talks to me about those films.
Nice. I went to a Q&A with the late Bill Paxton, and he talked so much about Aliens, filming that. He was Private Hudson, and that was just brilliant. No, I love that one. One of my favourite sequels.
That armour that he wore, I've actually had that on. I actually had that Bill Paxton's armour on. I was involved in the project, and it was there. Yeah, true story.
Oh fuck, no way. Oh, amazing, Jess. Right, second one. Your favourite mistake?
Well, what I say about a mistake is only a mistake after the event. Up until that point, it's a correct decision. No one, including me, wakes up and says, I'm going to go and fuck up today. But occasionally I do. But that's what an expert is. An expert is someone that's made all the mistakes in a particular niche field. Let me tell you my favourite mistake. So this was 2012, 2013. So I'm just going through it. I had a nervous breakdown. It took me 2.5 years to get back to normal. And I got paid, I can't remember how much it was, but let's say £2,000 to go and speak in a place in Norwich. And gets there, and this was a big company that does websites for big national corporates, 200 employees. I turned up there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm speaking at 4. Goes to the toilet, urinals. There's one guy there, right in the middle. These two guys say, this is supposed to be motivational. What a load of shit this is. And I'm nervous, early days for me. I'm having a wee. The urinals, hey guys, wait till later before you make that decision. Fucking David Brent. Anyway, goes and watches this 200 employees, and it's in this like dark fucking hovel of a heavy metal type environment. Weirdly set up ever, black walls a lot. And they had the sales director came out due to speak before me with sunglasses on and Hawaiian shirts and Bermuda shorts because the future's so bright, and they're all laughing at him, not with him. They didn't want to be there. None of the staff. There's obviously some internal shit going on. That's why they brought a motivational speaker in. So I'm due to be speaking at 4 o'clock. Fucking 2 minutes to 4 comes. The managing director goes looking for a card. He's got the UK's number one motivational speaker, Brad Burton, 3-time best-selling author. He can't find his card. He goes, it's just some fat bloke from Manchester. So walks on.
Fucking hell.
200 fucking people. So they've had better introductions.
Shit.
So I'm nervous as fuck. I've got 45 minutes. 5 minutes in, and I've run out of stuff. Like, I used to have cue cards, printed them out, and I used to print them out. You should just only have one, but because I've got overcompensated, I had 4 laminated. So I'd say something a piece, and then come back and read it. Say something, come back. It's terrible, right? So I'm there, and I've got like 20 minutes left, and I've run out of everything. I've just burnt through it. So my pizza story would normally take 6 minutes. I did it in like 10 seconds. Yeah, I deliver pizzas, right? I've lost fucking shot to pieces. You've got 20 minutes left, Andy. What would you do? 200 people.
Shit. Get them involved in something interactive going.
Tried that. Questions, everyone's just fucking anyway. So I've done everything that it wouldn't happen now because I'm versed. I've got 11 years or whatever it is on it. So anyway, it goes like this. I'm a motivational speaker. Maybe I should be called the UK's number one demotivational speaker. First laugh. I said, there's times in places as a motivational speaker, you're supposed to find the positive in everything. And there'll be a time in your life when you're on stage, like I am metaphorically, and there's nowhere to run, maybe your department and so forth. And I said, I've learned something today. Would you like to know what that is? I said, yeah. I said, grab your pens. I said, experience is what you win when you lose. Think about that. Experience is what you win when you lose and things don't go your way. I said, I've learned something today. Would you like to know what that is? They said, yes. I said, never do a fucking job in Norfolk. See you later. And I walked.
Fuck.
True story.
Brilliant. Is that on video?
No, thank fuck. That was a weird time of me dying. So, you learn so much about dying by dying and actually how to avoid that. In situations, if that was to happen again, I'd say, you know what? I've lost my way. Fallback position. I've lost my way. And on times and occasions, you're going to lose your way. Anyone got any examples of you losing your way? Okay, what happened there? So it's that. An experience will allow you to do that. So, I've made some terrible mistakes, but they've been amazing learnings. Amazing learnings.
Brilliant. Amazing. I tell you, again, Brad, could speak to you all day, man. Just pulled on another thread there, talking about that fear that something might not work out, that stops so many people from achieving what their potential is.
This is, as I say to people, I say, look, no one has apart from me, no one has a crystal ball. I got one right there. No one has a crystal ball apart from me. So on that basis, if you're going to think about the future, do yourself a fucking favour. Think about a positive one. If you're going to imagine a fucking positive one. What goes wrong here is that people end up with a situation where, I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks' time. I'm not thinking it's going to be shit. It's going to be raining. It's going to be a shit service. I'm going to think it's amazing. That's what you got to do. It all starts with this. This. I swear, this is your fucking engine room of your entire life. You get this right, you get your business right. You get your business right, and you don't get that right, you're fucked. And that's what I was doing. But I was getting the business right to then sort this out. You sort this out first, and your entire world sorted out. And that's exactly what I do. If anyone's interested in talking about how I do it, please do jump on that bradburton.biz/15.
Brilliant. What a note to end on. Brad, thank you again. It's been amazing.
Cheers, Andy. Keep going.
You've been listening to the Stay Hungry podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, leave us a review. I'll love you forever. Visit andyandjoel.com if you want to know more about our coaching. We'd love to hear from you. Take care, everyone.